What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And today I thought I'd chime in on this whole Piers Morgan situation that everyone's been talking about, because there's a huge sense of irony here about the way Piers has been removed, which hasn't been addressed. And this is something which I wanted to talk about in this video. I know I'm not talking about his comments about Meghan Markle, even though that didn't help matters clearly. That wasn't the incident that led me to title this video why Piers Morgan should feel aggrieved. It was purely because of the protected class of people who he dared to challenge, which led to his demise. And I have to preface this before anyone says anything. I am no way near a fan of Piers Morgan. He has since come out and spoke about the reason why he's left and defended his right to free speech, which I am in 100% agreement on. And before I continue on this video, I have to say this. If anyone leaves me some dumbass comments talking about me caping for white people or some other dumbass shit, I'm going to delete that comment and block that channel. I always leave my comments open for my videos. If you look at my past history, you'll see even the videos which has more dislikes than likes, there are a few due to my positions. I always leave the comment section open no matter what people say, for the most part, unless YouTube deletes that comment before I can even get to it. Because I actually do believe in the freedom of speech, as long as it doesn't incite violence or any harm doing. But this video is going to be different, because this is something which a lot of black people, particularly I'm talking about, need to hear. Because I see all you guys love to dish out all the attacks about the evils of white people all day, every day. But when it comes to the shoe being on the other foot, you guys don't like to be criticized or challenged in any way. Hence this whole stupid situation that we're here at the moment. So if anyone leaves any stupid comments of that ilk, I'm going to delete that shit and block the channel. Cancel culture style. You guys know all about that. Now back to this video. You see, Piers Morgan, if he had used any common sense that he had left, because he's been lacking common sense as of late, given his antics, he would have known better about this situation. He would have understood that in today's climate, there was only ever going to be one winner in that debate, with the black guest, with the two black guests at the start, the two ladies, in regards to the whole racism claims from Meghan Markle, and then when he, at the end, when he followed up debating the weatherman about the racism claims again from the interview. There was only ever going to be one winner in that whole debate once you started to disagree with what they were saying. And that was never going to be you. So why do I now say that Piers should feel aggrieved, or you can even argue betrayed by what took place? Simply because of this. If anyone remembers Piers Morgan history in regards to his stances during the whole Black Lives Matter movement, and even before that when he's been discussing diversity and almost all things black issues, if you know this, he has been staunchly on black people's side, staunchly on this side. I mean, it got to the point where this is the reason why, in my mind, he lost, particularly over the last 12 months, a lot of his white audience because of the positions that he took. He even tried to bait Dizzy Rascal into calling out people who disagreed with the fight against the Black Lives Matter stances, the kneeling, because there's a whole, again, hoopla about the Black Lives Matter in football in regards to kneeling. All this hoopla that was raised by white people, if you remember, black folks, who was one of the first people in line to say, no, this is what needs to be done. It's a serious issue. It was Piers Morgan. That's right, he did. You don't believe me? I'm going to show you a few clips to illustrate my point.
One of the most complained about television moments of the past 10 years, with more than 15,000 complaints to Ofcom.
What are they complaining about? I'm serious. What are you complaining about? George Floyd was a black man in America who died when a white policeman put his knee on his neck for nearly 9 minutes, 2.5 minutes of which he was unconscious, right, in a moment that horrified the world.
Violence. It was, portraying police brutality and the kneeling on necks and taking the knee, this subjugation. It was all steeped in critical race theory, essentially, which is, this whole myth of white supremacy and white people being oppressors and black people being victims. And it's not a good message to be sending at 8 o'clock on a in primetime television.
Oh, come off it. I've seen more violence on EastEnders. Honestly, what they were doing, they did a 4-minute performance that talked about the coronavirus pandemic, about love, about unity, and in part of it, they depicted the seminal moment, apart from the virus of the year, which was the appalling death of George Floyd at the knee of a police officer. I think if you're genuinely offended by what you saw on that show, there's something wrong with you. Saw last night at the football match. We saw a big banner from a plane saying "White Lives Matter," and it caused a lot of offence, and there's a lot of other people this morning saying, well, why is that offensive? Try and articulate to people what Black Lives Matter actually means. Seems to me a clear case where you've got BAFTA banging on about diversity. The Hollywood industry has banged on about diversity for years now. And here you've got every one of the 20 nominations in the acting categories, and they're all white. It couldn't be less diverse. It's a joke.
And you see, after all that virtue signaling, Piers, what happened? The same group of people who, if we're being fair and balanced, if we're being honest with ourselves, he has defended almost to a fault. It then became the same people who ultimately was the downfall of his job at Good Morning Britain. You only had to see, because I was just sitting back watching thinking, let's see what people are going to say about this. And you had to see the outcry from black people to see exactly what I was talking about. The cause for him to be sacked, the petitions, all this kind of other stuff. And here's the thing, Piers. You had already alienated your white support already at this stage. You had long alienated that support in regards to your stances, your wokeness, and let's be honest, a lot of your antics as well, Piers, because you come across like a dickhead. It definitely contributed to your demise in regards to your over-talking guests, in regards to your stances on the whole vaccine rollout, in regards to the biasness. Don't get me wrong. That has ultimately been a tale of the reason why, if you look at your catalogue of all the reasons why you've been a failure, if you want to call it a failure, you definitely came across in a negative light. But you had no white support to begin with. And when the time you said what you said with those black guests, that was it. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. And that had to sting. That had to sting. Because again, there was time when he was defending the Britain's Got Talent Diversity Act. He was defending against other black people who didn't agree with the BLM movement. He must have thought he had at least some credit in the bank to be able to freely disagree now. This is what it was. Freely disagree about the claims that was put against the royal family. Because this is what it boils down to. What was boiled down to, if you listen to the interview at the end when he stormed off, he didn't disagree about some of the comments, depending on the tone, may have come across racist. He agreed with that statement. He was with you. He disagreed with the impact and some of the claims that it would have on the royal family. And obviously it got into a heated debate and he walked off the stage, walked off set, and we are where we are right now. But my days, Piers. The council culture has got you. You didn't have enough credit in your bank. It just needed that one incident where white people who didn't have your back anymore, they was able to say, you know what, Piers, we got to let you go. Now, apparently it wasn't been the case. People keep saying or speculating about how it happened, but it happened. But don't worry about it, Piers. I'm pretty sure you'll land on your feet somewhere soon. But this is what I wanted to talk about, because we just have to be fair. We have to be honest with ourselves as to what the reason why this took place. Now, people could argue about this was coming for a long time. I don't disagree with that nature. But the way how it happened and the final incident, that the straw that broke the camel's back, that just had to leave us, that for me at least, that would have left a sour taste in my mouth. And again, isn't it funny how now the same people who you've been defending the most over the last 12 months were the same very people who, if you look at social media, they were the first people to throw you under that bus. That's why I titled this video, why Piers Morgan should feel aggrieved. That's why I'm saying he should feel at least a little bit betrayed. Now, like I said before, if you leave me some dumbass comments in the comment section, I'm going to block that shit, I'm going to delete it and block your channel. But for those who actually want to have a simple disagreement or state their points, feel free to comment, feel free to say exactly what you want to say within reason now, because with this video, no, there is going to be no freedom of speech. This is my channel. I'm going to run it how I need to run it. Until next time, I'm out.